Hey, welcome to another edition of Local Focus. I'm Sebastian Noel, your host. I want to update you on a couple of previous guests. One that's just absolutely killing it right now is Amaya Brown. She's moved into that starting rotation. She's gotten a few starts at Florida State. Obviously, that's a great team. They're close to the top 25 all year. They've been in and out. She's doing great things, And the coolest thing about it is, you go on Twitter or any social media on their game days, and they got Amaya plastered everywhere. Whether it's team graphics, stuff, shout outs on Twitter, stuff like that. They got Amaya's mug everywhere, and that's really cool to see a local kid and one of my guests featured so prominently in their advertising in Florida State. That's been really fun to watch. And then as far as our previous high school guests, man, team Local Focus is just tearing it up right now. My boys Jelante and Amir at Cleveland off to a great start. J.B. White at Santa Fe, obviously he's had a setback with the patella. I can tell you, I know there's been some reports in the news about, he might be back in 3 to 4 weeks. I think that's a little wishful thinking. That's not what I've been told. I think my sources on that are a little better, actually, than what's been reported. So I would be shocked if I saw him back towards the end of the year. But luckily no structural damage there. But yeah, Team Local Focus has been doing great. DeMarcus Sutphin, obviously his team off to a great start. And today we're happy and excited to add another member to Team Local Focus, and that's Tyler Quintana, the El Dorado stud. We haven't had an Eagle on since Jalen Domina Lovato, and he's doing great things.
Yeah.
You catch up with Jalen still? You kind of keep track of what he's doing?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Me and Jalen, we talk all the time. I have him on Snapchat, and especially his little brother, Devin, on the team. Me and him are always talking about how he's doing out there up at Highlands and stuff, catching up.
Pretty special that, he was the only freshman that didn't get redshirted there of the local boys that went. I know Marlon's redshirting, Jose Vijo's redshirting,
yeah,
but not JDL, man. He's in the fire, right? He's playing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I knew for sure when he was going to go there that he definitely would definitely fit in. He's the type of player that no matter what, his surroundings, where you throw him, he's going to adapt. He's going to work hard. He's going to put in the time no matter what, but yeah, it's good. It's good to see him doing well up there, and I'm proud of him for sure.
So, since we're talking about that, and a member of last year's team, I mean, just talk about the camaraderie on that team. How special was that team?
Oh, it was unlike any team I've ever been on before. The fact that we were all just so close, we meshed so well. I think the main part on the court, we all knew our role. None of us tried to do anything like outside of our capabilities. We all just played well together and communicated on and off the court, and it was fun. The whole year was so fun.
How unique of a circumstance was that where it was 5 guys, right? I mean, you were starting and you were finishing, right? You weren't coming out. First of all, had you ever gone through anything like that, and was that hard to get used to? And just take us through that.
I feel like Coach Sanchez did a great job of preparing us preseason conditioning wise. He ran the hell out of us. And we kind of knew beforehand what to expect. And we were all excited and ready, and like it was good. It was fun. I loved it. I couldn't complain. It's fun being able to play the whole game and just having that chemistry and stuff.
So what are your earliest basketball memories?
Earliest basketball has been a part of my life as long as I can remember. Ever since I was young, my dad, he played college basketball at Eastern, New Mexico. And ever since I was able to walk, I was dribbling a ball, so it's always been a part of my life.
Your dad played for Coach Sanchez, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what were the earliest things that you remember him telling you about, whether it be El Dorado or Coach Sanchez? What are some of the things you remember from your dad, coming from him?
All I remember, my parents and my dad always tell me that we have it easy, and that Coach Sanchez used to be way worse on them. And it's kind of hard to believe because he still is pretty hard on us now.
So he's mellowed out,
yeah,
in his old age?
Every time I'll tell him a story of like something about how Coach Sanchez gets mad, and he's just like, oh, he's like, that's nothing. He's like, when I was playing, and then he'd tell me a whole story about him.
What's the craziest story your dad ever told you about Coach Sanchez?
Craziest story, probably halftime of one game. My dad turned it over right before the half. And when they came into the locker room, Sanchez just started going off on him, and he was banging the locker right above his head and like pounding it with his fist. And my dad thought he was about to hit him, but that's probably one of the craziest times he's gone off on him. But yeah.
Coach Sanchez is he's been excelling for a really long time. I mean, and you know what's funny is I talked to your dad about that, about you playing for Roy, and it really speaks to Roy when you have second generation kids. Your dad wouldn't send you to Coach Sanchez if he wasn't a great coach. And so when you start to see second generation going to El Dorado and making sure, hey, I want my kid to play for Coach Sanchez, obviously that speaks to how good of a guy and Coach Roy is, right?
Yeah, definitely. I used to live with my mom on the west side, and I was gonna go to one of those schools. And then ever since I was in middle school playing Coach Sanchez, I talked to my dad about me going there, and I think I decided for sure, like my 7th, 8th grade year, that I was gonna go to El Dorado, and I had already like put in the transfer and done all that stuff. But
now, did you play any other sports growing up, or were you a basketball guy?
Mostly basketball. I played soccer for 2 years in middle school, just for the heck of it, conditioning. I had fun with that, and I played soccer again in high school my sophomore year on JV.
And you dabbled with some football this year.
Yeah, I gave it a shot, man.
I know your dad probably wasn't thrilled about that, right?
Yeah, no, definitely not. None of my family whatsoever was excited when I told them that I was going to try it, but I feel like the biggest influence was all my really close friends had played football since their freshman year, and they had always been trying to get me to play and just like nudging me and encouraging me, and then finally,
I know Coach Dodson, when we talked to him, he said, man, Tyler's already one of the most athletic kids out here. So, I mean, he was pretty thrilled to have you join the team. But how did it go?
It went kind of rough, actually. The coaches didn't take it too well, but we're okay now, and I kind of just talked it over, and I explained to them where I was coming from and the reason why for my decision of not finishing the season off, and now we're pretty good. They understand, and it's all good now. But yeah, it wasn't the smoothest process.
All right, we're going to do a thing here and take a commercial break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about some of your early years at El Dorado. We'll talk about last year, and I don't know, that buzzer beater might come up.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
We're back with El Dorado Eagle Tyler Quintana here. Let's talk about some of your early years at El Dorado. So your freshman year, take us through that.
Freshman year was great. We ended up going undefeated on JV. Played for Coach Carter. He was a great coach. Really helped me a lot with like transitioning from middle school to high school for sure. But definitely with that team, we were really close, all two on and off the court. But it was a good year. I had a lot of fun.
So that was a team, correct me if I'm wrong, that was a team that El Dorado that was the year they kind of backed into the playoffs when Santa Fe had their problems, right?
Yeah, yeah,
The varsity.
yeah,
But a lot of people were talking about the JV team,
yeah.
and Roy made the decision there not to keep the group together and roll through that undefeated season. And how much did that help you going into your next year, you think?
I feel like it helped a lot. It definitely gave us a lot of time to just grow and just kind of get used to everything and just mesh well together. But yeah, it definitely helped a lot.
At that point in your freshman year there, what did you feel you were good at, and what did you feel that had to get better?
Definitely overall just decision making, IQ, and then just getting used to the speed of the game. I feel like people don't realize, but it's a lot different from like, especially even JV to varsity, just the overall speed of the game and just knocking down shots in transition. Definitely one of the main things.
Now you get to varsity, and then Coach Yvonne is added to the equation, right?
Yeah.
How did that help your basketball?
Oh,
development?
it helped tremendously. Coach Yvonne was great. She helped a lot, especially in practices. She brought a lot new, like different drills and stuff, and she's so smart. She's just one of the best coaches I've definitely had, and her and her brother, Coach Sanchez, definitely work well together too.
So then you go to your sophomore year. You guys are rolling through the regular season again. You're, the Fab Five, if you will. Really, no one else is playing. You get to the playoffs. I mean, what's your confidence level by the time the playoffs start?
Definitely high. We were feeling good. We were all pretty excited, I feel like, but still humble. But I feel like it could have been a little lower. If our confidence was maybe just a little lower and we were less like kind of for sure about it, we would have done a little better, you know.
Now, first game at the Pit, if I recall correctly, West Mesa, right?
Yeah.
And that was by far their best game of the season. I mean, they gave you guys a game.
Yeah,
so
they
talk
definitely
about
did.
that.
Yeah, it was back and forth a lot of ups and downs, but I feel like we kept our composure pretty well, and just under high stress, we just buckled down and just came out with the dub. But yeah, it was definitely a fun and exciting game.
What was the talk at halftime from Coach Sanchez, because that game was far from decided by halftime? What did Roy say at halftime there?
I feel like usually he has a lot to say, but in that moment we all kind of knew, and all of us. So like during halftime in the locker room, he didn't really say that much. He was kind of just like, look, like we made it this far, and this is really how you guys want it to end. And then we all kind of just, he left, and then we were in there by ourselves, and it was just us, the team, and we kind of just like all got pumped up and ready to come out in the second half. But
so it's obviously a point in the season where if you guys don't come out in that second half, I mean, Eloy and Jose could have won that game. They could, the way they were shooting it, right?
Oh yeah.
So obviously the second half had to be well executed. I mean, talk about the second half of that game and the confidence that took into the next level.
Yeah, I feel like Sanchez does a great job in practice, kind of putting emphasis on how we need to come out strong, especially in the third quarter right away. That's one of like the main things that we focus on, is coming out strong right after half. So we're doing a lot of different drills late in practice and trying to like mimic game situations. But I don't know, we came out and it felt like really comfortable. Everything kind of just went smooth. We caught a rhythm, and once you get going at that time, it just kind of everything just starts falling into place, and shots start falling, stop getting blocks on defense, and everything. The game just starts going well.
So that'll take us to the Cleveland game, which obviously that's been a talked about game on this show, especially since I've had a few of the participants on the show. You know, I had JDL on, and of course Jalen talked about it. And then I had the total opposite perspective, where I asked Jalen Munn about that controversial finish, and his response was, "What controversial finish?" So I've had both sides on, right? So take us through that.
I feel like no matter what anyone wants to say out loud, everyone knows for sure that it wasn't the right call. But at this point, it's kind of just
where were you on the floor when that last shot went up?
I was right side baseline, kind of towards the wing. And I remember heard the buzzer, went in, and I was like, okay, overtime. And I looked, and I just saw the ref count it and run up, and I was just more shocked than anything. I couldn't even really believe it. But at this point, it's kind of like we've heard it so much
Right.
off the court too. It's crazy. Like I didn't realize how like big of a
Right.
incident it was. But yeah, I've heard so much about it, and there's nothing you can really do about it
But
now.
I mean, to get back into the moment, I want to focus more on that actual moment.
yeah.
How quickly did that shock wear off, and then you're like, well, wait a minute, this just happened to us? I mean, was the moment of shock an extended thing, or did you realize right away, oh, well, something's wrong here?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, the shock probably lasted until right before we started walking up the ramp. And then it was just like, crap. I kind of just like, you had to realize it and just realize we got screwed. And at that point, it kind of just makes you look back on the game and kind of like realize and regret on like the little smallest thing that you could have done differently.
So yeah, that was going to bring me to my next question. So obviously you're an underclassman at that point. You're coming back for another season. At that point, when you're kind of taking mental inventory after the season, are you more focused on, you know, a call that went horribly wrong and took you guys out of a rightful place in the championship, or are you more focused on, okay, what else did we do down the stretch to lose that game that we can't do again?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And what else did you guys do to lose that game down the stretch?
I feel like part of it was just towards the end in that, like the stress level of what was going on in this, like the amount of time that was left in the game, we just didn't make the right decision. We kind of panicked. We should have calmed down and slowed it down, and we kind of just tried to rush it and just go. And like, I don't know, yeah, it was just.
How does that fuel an off season for a player of your caliber? You know you're going into your senior year. How does that fuel an off season?
Oh, definitely, it does a lot. I knew for sure that we were going to be losing 3 big pieces of the starting 5, and that my role on the team was definitely going to increase. So I definitely put in the work and tried to prepare my best for this season, yeah.
So you and Cameron, you know, obviously you're coming back. Do you guys, you know, at any point after the season during the summer, do you guys kind of get together and say, okay, we got to put this past us. This is, you know, new chapter, or is that just something that happens in like cheesy basketball movies?
No, it definitely happens. Me and Cave talk a lot on and off the court, but yeah, as soon as me and him knew too, even before that game, what next season held for us, and we kind of were on the same page immediately.
How special is that 1-2 punch right now with you and Cameron?
Oh, it's great. I've been playing with him since my freshman year. We've never once really like had problems. We've always just meshed well, and it's great. Whenever one of us is off, the other one's on, or whatever, we always just get each other back into it, and he definitely helps me a lot in my game.
All right, we're gonna go through some rapid fire, okay? You and Cave, okay?
Okay.
Better outside shooter.
Me.
Better rebounder.
Cave.
Better passer.
Cave.
Better student.
Me.
Easier to coach.
Me.
Better with the ladies.
Me.
Nicer car.
Cave.
Better practice dunker.
Cave.
All right, that was pretty close, right? All right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a time out here. We'll take one more commercial break. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that 1-2 duo and kind of come to some of the other duos in the state. We're gonna maybe talk a little bit about your district and some college stuff. More with Tyler Quintana.
Dream Style Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dream Style Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dream Style Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
All right, back with Tyler Quintana now of the El Dorado Eagles. We've been talking about him and his teammate Cameron Valencia a little bit. So if I didn't let you guys pick you, what's the second best? If you guys are the best, what's the second best duo in the state?
Second best duo, definitely Jalen and Amir.
Okay, all right.
At Cleveland for sure.
Okay. So district, obviously when this will air, you guys will be in district play. So give us a little preview of that district.
We start off with Farmington. They're not in a district, but we play Cueva on Tuesday. Heard some decent things about them. But so far, our biggest goal is just to go into it not expecting to win any game for sure, and just staying humble and just getting ready and working hard for sure.
So how special are those games against La Cueva? That's obviously a heated rivalry.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And everyone I've talked to on both sides of that rivalry, I mean, it seems like they're into it. So take us through game night against La Cueva when you guys play La Cueva. What's different?
I feel like just overall getting ready, it's just a little more intense. There's a little more like importance just put on it, and everyone's just a little more serious. You can kind of feel it in the air. Definitely the fans, the crowds, a lot more people show up, and it's always fun every year.
The rivalry's gotten friendlier over time, right? Because you guys play together sometimes. Now it used to be a lot more intense, but I know on the football side, a lot of the players have said, yeah, well, we play during the off season, we work out together. I mean, is there anything like that? Do you have friends on that team, or is it a legit rivalry for you where you just flat out hate La Cueva?
Oh yeah, no, not at all. I feel like it's kind of more just like the idea of them being our rivals, but I have tons of friends from La Cueva on the team too that I play with a lot, AAU in the season, and just overall, just I see a lot, and yeah, it's definitely not the same rivalry that it was.
Now, what's your record? Are you on the positive side, record-wise, against La Cueva during your career at El Dorado? I mean, who's gotten the better of that rivalry?
Yeah, since I've been at Eldo, we've definitely been on the positive side. Yeah.
Now, I know Coach Sanchez. He might not admit this, but he likes that rivalry. He does not like.
He
La
does.
And so those wins have to be a little more special for him.
Yeah. The wins, I feel like he right now he almost expects to win against La Cueva no matter what. So the very few times that I remember that we lost to Cueva, it wasn't pretty afterwards. He was not happy at all.
Listen, we all know how good you and Cave are right now. What do you guys have to do to go to the next level? Because it seems like the talk right now of the upper echelon is Volcano and Cleveland, and I think you guys are kind of grouped in that tier that's right below that, right? Whether that's fair or not, that's what I read in the paper.
Yeah.
What do you guys have to do to bring home a blue trophy this year?
Right now, I feel like we all just got to be on the same page mentally. We've definitely put in the work and the time physically and hours in the gym. Now it's just kind of like buckling down and just preparing ourselves mentally and being on the same page for sure, and just getting in the flow of things.
Now, what's next for you? What are you looking at the next level? Who has shown an interest? Where would you like to go? Where would you like to continue basketball? What's Tyler Quintana going to be doing a couple of years from right now?
I'm definitely planning on playing basketball in college. I've been talking to a few Division IIs and lower and higher, and some JUCOs out of state. I want to go somewhere, big city kind of, maybe near the water. But I definitely want to play in college for sure.
And so what do they like about your game? What's the feedback you're getting about your game?
They like my shot for sure, my size, my quickness, how I attack the basket.
When did you turn Quintana to current Tyler Quintana? Because you put in some work in the weight room.
Yeah, I never really was scrawny.
Well,
though.
compared to now, right?
Yeah. When middle school, I was always kind of like thicker, kind of husky and chubby, and then kind of once my freshman year, we started hitting the weight room hard, and that's one of the biggest things that Sanchez emphasizes at Eldo, preseason weight room. And then I really just started like actually lifting. I had lifted before, but it was like at that age I kind of just didn't know what I was really doing, just going to the gym, lifting whatever. But once I actually like started lifting for reals, I started to see the difference for sure.
Because I know that's when I talk to your dad, that's what he talks about. He talks about Well, what you're doing at the gym, as
Yeah.
far as weights,
Yeah.
and then points you're putting up at
Yeah.
against some of his older buddies.
Yeah.
So you go at it one-on-one with Pops?
Oh yeah.
Is he still young enough to hold his own, or is he getting beat down?
He says he is, but he definitely knows now that he kind of just. I feel like he's giving it up, but that's definitely we've been going back and forth for the longest time ever since I was young. I was never able to beat him one-on-one. And
when did you start?
We had a bet. We had like an ongoing bet of 1,000 that the day I beat him is when I win. And then I ended up beating him. I think it was my freshman year, either right before my freshman year or during my freshman year.
Now, did he pay up on the 1,000?
Yeah, he paid up. He did.
We got a high roller.
Surprisingly,
we got a high roller here on Local Focus, taking 1,000 from Pops.
But yeah, no, but he still likes to talk his crap, and he still is confident in his game, but he knows that.
You're definitely a quieter, less brash version of your Pops.
Yeah, no, my dad, my dad's hilarious. Yeah, but I like to stay quiet, kind of, and just
let your game do the talking.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we're out of time already. Tyler, thank you so much for coming in, man. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
And it was turned over. And quickly out in front, look at this. It's Patterson going to go all the way.
No. On a long rebound, and Hill, the freshman, tapped it to himself. In transition to Aragon, and he slams it home.
Going to get a steal here. Look out. Patterson all the way.
See if he wants to dunk in transition. Send it in. Here comes Messiah Satterfield. Up high, down hard, with no regard for human life. Back, is he going to have another? One more in transition for Satterfield.
And then another steal out in front. Well, watch out, Munn will jam it. And Jalen Munn puts it down, and Isler's not happy with that. The look, Steve Davis, after the steal, and you know what's going to happen when Jalen Munn gets it, huh?
I'll tell you what, elevation is, and he looks so easy when he does it.
Urosti, there's Morgan. Oh, send it in! To Terry. Good look at a three for Josh. No! What a putback! Now he blows by his man. Up top and down hard. The no-look alley-oop to... On tap here. Lovato gets the steal. Now he'll get it back. On the run out, the lob up top. Send it in, JP.